A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya Ali Madad.
Welcome back, everyone, to our deep dive. Today, we're building on our last conversation, really getting to the heart of a fundamental question. What is Islam exactly?
Exactly. And we want to clarify its true nature, especially, in light of some academic ideas you might hear.
Right. Ideas that can sometimes be a bit confusing, suggesting it's, well, something new or derived.
We want to counter that.
So if you joined us last time, you'll remember we talked about deen or religion, not as something static, but dynamic. Like it evolves like a person growing up, reaching spiritual maturity.
But, and this is crucial, we also noted that divine law, sunnatullah, that stays constant.
Yes, that unwavering divine order guiding our growth.
Guiding humanity's spiritual journey, step by step.
And we touched upon Islam as the sirati mustaqim, the straight path.
That's right, with those 4 interlinked stages. Shariat, the words, the laws.
Barakat, our actions.
Hakikat, those inner spiritual states.
And marifat, the deepest secrets, the recognition of God.
And they all signify that gradual growth. They're linked, though one might seem more dominant sometimes.
Definitely.
Mawlana Sultan Muhammad Shah alayhi salam
Gave us that beautiful analogy.
Oh, the photograph one.
Yes, like someone photographed every 10 years. They look different, they grow.
But they're still the same person underneath it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It perfectly captures that evolving yet constant nature of deen.
It really does.
So, with all that as our foundation, the big question for today is, what is Islam? What's the core definition?
Well, the clearest, most direct answer comes right from the Holy Quran itself. Chapter 3, verse 19.
Okay.
It states, and this is profound,
Inna deena indallahil Islam.
And the translation?
verily, the true religion with God is Islam. It's right there.
Simple, yet so deep.
And the word Islam itself, its original meaning, as explained in Quranic minarets, is basically to submit oneself to someone else.
Submission.
Yes. So the true religion is called Islam because anyone who accepts it, well, they submit themselves to God. And importantly, this name, this concept, it's not new. It's been there from the very beginning. Submission to the divine will has always been the essence.
That's a really powerful point about its origins. But, that understanding kind of bumps up against this question that some contemporary scholars raise.
The Neoplatonism one.
Exactly. You hear Islam referred to as Neoplatonism in some academic circles.
Is this just a label which is given to us by some academics, particularly those influenced by Orientalist writers and our adversaries?
And that can be, well, perplexing, especially for younger people.
It certainly can be.
So it makes you ask, when did Islam actually originate? Is it a new religion based on these Greek ideas?
It's true, some scholars do draw these parallels. And Neoplatonism, it's a philosophical system from ancient Greece.
Right. Talking about the one and the soul's journey.
Exactly. And on the surface, okay, you might see some superficial resemblance to certain religious ideas. So for someone not deeply familiar with the Quran's teachings, yeah, that comparison could seem puzzling.
Understandable.
But the wise Quran itself offers such profound clarity on this. There's a key text, Fruit of Paradise, which explains it beautifully.
What does it say?
It tells us something absolutely fundamental. All the prophets, throughout history, in their own times,
Okay.
they all conveyed and taught the very same one true, unique religion, the religion of one God.
The same religion.
The very same. And this eternal religion, this dini haq, was later expressed using the word Islam during Prophet Muhammad's time. It's not new, it's the continuous thread.
Wow. So it's always been there.
Always. And God confirms this directly in the Quran, chapter 42, verse 13. It's worth hearing the whole verse.
Please.
شرع لكم من الدين ما وصى به نوحا والذي أوحينا إليك وما وصينا به إبراهيم وموسى وعيسى أن أقيموا الدين ولا تتفرقوا فيه.
And the meaning.
The translation really brings it home. He has ordained for you that religion which he enjoined upon Nuh, and which we have revealed to you, Muhammad, and which we enjoined upon Ibrahim, Musa, and Isa, saying, establish the religion and be not divided therein.
That's incredibly direct. It speaks right to that continuity, doesn't it?
Absolutely. From Nuh to Ibrahim, Musa, Isa, right up to Prophet Muhammad, the same core religion.
So what does that tell us about how this single religion flowed through time? I mean, obviously, things look different in different eras.
That's the key point. If we look at Insights from Treasure of Knowledge, Part 1, it explains that the light of Islam is one. It's singular.
Okay, the light is one.
but its manifestations, how it appeared outwardly, well, those differed according to the time and age.
Makes sense. Different context, different needs.
Precisely. So Islam was one, in its reality, the same eternal religion back in the time of Adam, Nuh, Ibrahim, Musa, Isa, and Muhammad.
Right.
But because the circumstances, the demands of their specific times and places were different. Their shariats, their laws, their specific guidance had to be different too, adapted to the context.
Got it.
So Islam, think of it as the religion of nature. It's been there since the human race began. All prophets called people to it.
So it's fundamentally the same, beginning to end.
Exactly the same in its core reality, even if the outward physical forms looked diverse across history.
Okay, that clarifies the continuity. But let's circle back to Plato and Plotinus then.
Yeah. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, I think, how this reframes that whole Neoplatonism thing.
Precisely. Because you see, Islam was, in reality, one religion. It was the same religion in the time of Hazrat Adam, alayhi salam, Hazrat Nuh, Hazrat Ibrahim, Hazrat Musa, Hazrat Isa, peace be upon them all, and Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him and his family. But, and this is the key part, the circumstances, the needs, the demands of the specific time and place for each prophet, those were different. So their shariats, their specific laws and guidance, they were also different, adapted to those times.
So the core essence, the submission to God, that stayed the same, but the outer form, the sharia, adapted.
Exactly right. Think of it as the religion of nature. That's Islam. It exists from the very beginning of the human race. All the prophets invited humanity to it. So Islam is the same from the beginning to the end, but its, let's say, physical forms, its practices, they look different in different times.
This completely flips that Neoplatonism argument.
It really does. Because our sources clarify that each religion fundamentally teaches about the one God. And crucially, when you look at someone like Plotinus, who developed Neoplatonism, he built upon Plato's philosophy. And where did Plato's philosophy arguably originate from? From religion, from those deeper spiritual insights. So some scholars might argue religion evolved from Plotinus's theory, but our perspective suggests it's more likely the other way around. Philosophy can spring from religion.
So religion wasn't an offshoot of philosophy, but maybe philosophy, or at least parts of it, drew from religion's wellspring.
That's fascinating. And what really stands out here is this constant emphasis on the enduring nature of this faith. Absolutely. If Islam has always existed, predating them significantly.
Right.
What is the relationship? Are these scholars suggesting this eternal truth somehow came from Greek philosophy? That seems backwards.
It is backwards. And this is where we need to be really clear. Look, every true religion teaches about one God, right? That's foundational. Now, Plotinus definitely built upon Plato's ideas. But, and this is the critical point, Plato's philosophy itself, and subsequently Plotinus's work, it actually originated from religion.
So religion came first.
Absolutely. The argument some scholars make that religions evolved from Plotinus's theory, it gets the sequence wrong.
So the philosophies drew from religious truths, not the other way around.
Precisely. It's like saying, you know, the river only started flowing when someone named it. The source, the eternal truth, was always there, predating the philosophical labels or explorations.
That's a really vital distinction to make. And it connects perfectly with that powerful instruction from Mawlana Sultan Muhammad Shah.
The Farman from 1936.
Yes, February 9th. He said, "Do not forget your eternal religion, Dai Qadim."
Exactly, Dini Qadim, eternal religion.
What does Qadim mean exactly?
It means eternal, no beginning, no end, something that has existed forever.
Wow.
It reinforces this whole idea of timelessness, of deep-rooted continuity we've been discussing. It's not ancient in the sense of old and past, but eternal.
Eternal, that's the word. So if these divine truths came first, what about our specific path? What was the original call, the original name for the Ismaili tariqah?
The original name is Dawat-i-Haq.
Dawat-i-Haq, and that means
Invitation to the truth.
invitation to the truth. That fits perfectly, doesn't it? Echoing that timeless call.
It does. It connects directly back to that fundamental eternal invitation to recognize the truth.
And speaking of truth in our tradition, the great Sayyidna Nās Khisraw, he actually addressed this philosophical debate head-on, didn't he? How did he respond to Plato's theories?
Oh, he did, with incredible intellectual confidence. In his Diwan, there's this amazing stanza. Let me share it.
Please do.
ز تصنیفات من زاد المسافر که معقولات را اصل است و قانون اگر بر خاک افلاطون بخوانند سنا خواند مرا خاک فلاطون.
Okay, that sounds powerful. What's the essence of the translation?
It's quite a statement, he says. Of my writings, the pilgrim's provision is the intelligible's fount and canon.
The source, the standard.
Exactly. And then, were it to be read on Plato's grave, his very dust would sing my praise.
Wow. That's bold.
It's incredibly bold. It's not just a defense, it's an assertion. He's basically saying, our tradition, our understanding is the source of real truth. It doesn't borrow from Plato, Plato himself, where he here would recognize the superior truth in our writings.
That completely flips the script on who's deriving from whom.
It absolutely does. It asserts the profound depth and originality of the wisdom within our own eternal heritage.
That's a crucial perspective from within the tradition itself. So bringing it to the present, what guidance did Imam Mawlana Shah Karim give us on this, especially about how we interact with other cultures, other systems of thought?
Mawlana Shah Karim offered very clear guidance on this. In a Farman Mubarak in Alibad, Hunza, back on October 1st, 1996, he advised us.
What did he say?
He said, and what we take from other civilizations we should take wisely so that they serve us properly, but we should not simply mimic every aspect of other civilizations.
Take wisely, don't just mimic. That seems very relevant here.
Extremely relevant. It emphasizes discernment. We engage, we learn, but we don't blindly adopt things that might contradict or obscure our own core truths.
So tying this all together then.
Well, it leads to a clear conclusion for this part of our discussion. Labeling our dini Qadim, our eternal religion, as simply Neoplatonic,
It's just inaccurate.
it's inaccurate, yes. Or at the very least, incorrect when viewed against the teachings and the guidance of the Imam-e-Zaman himself.
Right.
Our deen is eternal. It's rooted in divine revelation through the prophets. It's not a later philosophical derivation.
That feels like a much clearer understanding. This has been, well, truly a deep dive. We've journeyed into the historical and spiritual roots of Islam, seeing it not as something new or borrowed, but as this eternal religion, dini Qadim, this continuous truth flowing through all the prophets.
And hopefully gaining clarity on that core concept of submission to God Islam, which is its very essence.
Absolutely. The meaning feels much richer now.
Indeed. And perhaps, as you sit with this idea of an eternal religion with guidance that unfolds over time, here's something to think about. A little teaser for our next deep dive.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
We're going to focus more on the how. How do we actually submit ourselves to Allah's will in practice today?
Right, the practical application.
And we'll explore a really interesting hadith. It talks about how, right now, adhering to just 10% of the requirements is vital to avoid ruin.
10%, okay.
But fascinatingly, it suggests that in the future, following that same 10% will actually lead to salvation.
The same 10% leads to ruin now, but salvation later.
Exactly. Which raises a huge question, doesn't it? If Islam is eternal, but its application needs guidance for the time, who guides us in knowing which 10% is the crucial 10% for salvation?
Wow, that is a thought-provoking question. How do we know what's essential for our time?
Something to ponder until next time.
Definitely. Well, thank you for joining us on this exploration today. We really hope you continue this journey of knowledge with us.
Until next time.